Hi there, my name's Bryony and I'm the head of coaching here at Relish. And today we're talking about what type of romantic relationship is right for you. So it can be really good to remember that not all relationships are the same, and sometimes there can be, different types of romantic relationships, and that's fine, but it can also be helpful to understand the pros and cons of each type. So here's just a list of some different types of romantic relationships that you might have experienced or might be experiencing right now, and just considering what role they're playing for you at the moment. So the first type is independent. So an independent relationship would be with where both partners are kind of self-contained and they kind of do their own thing. So you might be in the early stages of a relationship, or the relationship might have actually just progressed to a level where you're both kind of in each other's lives, but you're not actually sharing a lot of your time together, or even there's not a whole lot of intimacy. And there's pros and cons to this. It can be really fantastic to have a partner and your own life kind of going on. So to kind of have your own space, but also have the companionship of somebody and the support when needed. The potential downsides obviously are that if you are both really independent and doing your own thing, you could actually grow apart, and there could be that kind of gradual loss of closeness and connection. And we know that that's one of the big benefits of being in a relationship, is that we do have that emotional and physical support when needed. So independent relationships can be fantastic, but they can also kind of miss out on the key benefits of having a partner. Another type of relationship is codependent. So this is kind of the other end of the spectrum from independent, where you spend all your time with your partner, they're kind of your sole companion in life, and you do everything together and you rely on them a lot in terms of physical and emotional support. So as you can see, this comes with its own challenges as well. We know when we're totally dependent on someone and when we're so close to somebody, it means that if we're not getting along, or if they're unavailable for whatever reason, we can find ourselves kind of stuck. And particularly if you're having relationship issues and you're in a codependent relationship, it can be really distressing because, of course, the person that you would normally go to for support, you're not really getting along with them that well. So just like independent relationships, codependent relationships have their challenges. They obviously have benefits in that you've got somebody who's your key support and really cares about you, but the challenges are that it can be a little bit suffocating, and you can also suffer from neglecting your friendships and things outside of the relationship as well. Another type of relationship is open. So this is kind of the non-monogamous type of relationship where perhaps you do have a partner, but you also see other people for emotional or physical connection. So some people can open up their relationships because they're finding that their needs aren't met within their primary relationship, and that can be an agreement that both people make. Whatever the situation, it's really important that both people are consenting to this, because sometimes you can have one person who's really interested in an open relationship, whereas their partner isn't too sure. And if that's the situation, then it's definitely going to result in jealousy and potentially the destruction of a relationship. So non-monogamy can be a really great option for couples who both feel really comfortable with it and are also great at communicating, but it can be a bit of a disaster for couples who perhaps are having issues already and are trying to use this as a bit of a band-aid. So it's great to kind of get some support if you're looking to pursue an open relationship. And we have some great coaches in our Relish team who can help you to help to support with this. Another type of relationship is long distance. So we've probably all heard of the long distance relationships. Some of them are by choice. So sometimes people can meet, online and not actually have met in person and just kind of agree to do long distance. For others, it's not necessarily voluntary, but they might be in the army or they might have to move away from work. Just like all these other relationships, there's some benefits. So with long distance, we can kind of have the benefit of having the emotional support of having a partner, but also being able to be very independent and kind of choose our lifestyle and what we do. The disadvantages are, of course, that our partner isn't really there for support a lot of the time, and we can perhaps feel a sense of distance and growing apart from them as well. So long distance is really challenging for relationships, particularly if there's no endpoint and particularly if there's things going on for each person. So again, it kind of requires a lot of communication, lots of strategies around connecting and finding time together and finding some rituals that you can do together. So at Relish, we've got some really good resources because we do have a lot of members who are in long distance relationships. So it could be a matter of working with a coach to understand what's coming up in my relationship right now and how can I actually resolve this and feel closer to my partner, even though I'm not actually in the same state or country as them. Another type of relationship is a just for now relationship. And you might think of this as like a rebound or perhaps just a kind of a fling. And these just for now relationships, even if they're not actually that serious or committed, can be really fantastic. If you think about if you've just gone through a difficult breakup and you're kind of finding your groove again, having a fling or a rebound can be fantastic because it can kind of help you to rediscover that person that you used to be. It can give you new experiences. It can build up your confidence. And it can be really helpful to define that as well. So if you are in a just for now relationship, making sure that both people understand that it is a just for now relationship, because what can sometimes happen is that one person can believe that it's perhaps going to be longer term or there's more of a commitment. So the benefits of just for now, like I mentioned, it can be fantastic as a distraction and as a totally kind of new, refreshing experience. But the downsides could be that somebody could get hurt emotionally, and also it can be sometimes a little bit risky, particularly if we don't know the person very well or if we're kind of putting ourselves in new situations. So again, talking through it and figuring out what's going to be the best way for us to do this going forward. Another type of relationship is the sexual physical. So this could be what we think of as friends with benefits. And again, there's some great benefits to this in terms of being able to kind of go after what your physical needs are without kind of worrying too much about the emotional sides of things. Again, it can really be helpful to define it. So making sure that both people in this arrangement are aware of the limitations of the relationship and are aware that perhaps it's not going to be a long-term thing and it's more a kind of mutually beneficial agreement. So again, the benefits are huge because, you know, we can kind of maybe rediscover a part of ourselves that we thought we'd lost. We can feel like a sense of empowerment about pursuing this, but there are also some risks around emotional harm and challenges in communication. So as you can see, there's quite a few different types of romantic relationships. All of them have their costs and benefits. It can be fantastic to reflect on, you know, which of these you might be experiencing at the moment, which work the best for you, which are the challenging ones, and where you want to be as well. Because sometimes we can be in one of these situations and maybe it's not the right relationship for us. And we might want to consider, well, how can I move this along? Or how can I change this relationship so that it's a bit closer to what I want to be? So at Relish, we've got fantastic relationship coaches who are available to work with you on any of these relationships. We've got a big content library that has a lot of material around how to shift relationship dynamics and also improve our own security and attachment style, how to define a relationship, how to work with long distance. So if you're having any challenges in your relationships, I would definitely recommend downloading Relish now. There's a 7-day free trial so you can try it out. Also, if you're enjoying our channel and our videos, I'd also recommend that you subscribe. So we put up new content pretty much every week, and there's always really interesting stuff that we're talking about that will probably help you in terms of relationships and communication as well. So I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching and see you next time.